Hello, my Zentangle friends. Welcome to Not Perfect Zen. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and I am continuing with the Inktober Tangles, and today we are on day 7. And I just thought I'd show, in case you're just jumping into this randomly, that this is where I keep my tiles after I complete them. I'm putting them in a day at a time. And this is a disc binding system. And I do have a video on my channel that explains how I do that. This is my disc bound system for practicing my patterns. And this is my practice page for today. And day 7 is Morrisseau. And the pattern was deconstructed by Cherryl, Moote. And I did spell it wrong here. So it's C-H-E-R-R-Y-L, Moote. And her pattern is based on the work of an Indigenous Canadian man named Norval Morrisseau. And I've looked at his work and I really like it. And I think that you'll enjoy this. It's a simple thing to do. The sky's the limit as far as what you can do with your tile. And so I'm not going to show you on a practice page. We're just going to jump in. So this is my tile, which is 4 inches wide by 4.5. And I do cut these myself. And before I go into this, Morrisseau, in his pattern, he uses a lot of random shapes, and a lot of them are connected. And so the tile that I'm going to do for you today is going to be on the fly, just kind of random. And I'm not going to put a string. I'm not going to put the dots or the border. What I'm going to be using today is the same thing I've used on all of these Inktober tiles. And it's the Micron 01, the graphite pencil, and the blending stump. And I don't call it a tortillon because I use the automated closed captioning from YouTube, and they tend to call it a tortilla. So I just call it a blending stump. Okay, so for Morrisseau, what Cherryl talks about in her video and in the step outs for this, and I would encourage you to watch her video, is that she just uses random shapes. Okay, they can be squarish, rectangular, triangle, anything that you would like to do. Okay, so I'm just going to start with a few shapes. And I'm not worried about any kind of perfect shape. And one thing I have learned, and I'm not sure where I heard this, was that when you're doing something like this and you're making a shape, watch where you're going. So I'm going towards that end. And so I'm not worried about where I've been. And if you're trying for an orb, it's an easier way to do a better looking orb. Okay. So we're just going to put a few smaller ones. And this one is going to be more of a triangular shape. And That one looks kind of like an egg. Turn your tile if you need to. I think I want to add one down here that it's a little bit more squarish. And then I'm going to start putting some smaller ones here and there. So just take your time. You could say vary the size, vary the shape. Try to balance it out a little bit as far as large and small. Okay, I think I'll stop there because you can always add more later. Okay, so the next thing that she does is to connect these shapes together. And I'm going to start by connecting these two. And she does kind of a takeoff from here and make it a little bit rounded and then round again back to there. And let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that better. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. And again, I'm going to kind of take off from that, make it rounded, and then come back to blend into that. Excuse me. And then she fills these in. And if it didn't smooth just right when you were making it, you could always do that now. Round your corners however you want. And then let's just start connecting. So again, I'm rounding just a little bit. And then filling it in. I like this one because you don't have to worry about getting anything wrong. Okay, you don't have to worry about a certain way your pattern has to look. We're just making random shapes and connecting them at this point. There's no rule as far as how many times one can connect to another one. So for example, I'm going to connect these two. And I left that one a little bit bigger on purpose. And then let's go ahead and connect these two. And then we can connect. I hope I've stayed on the screen. I'm sorry. Back off a little bit. I forgot I had it zoomed in. Okay. So now we're going to connect these two. And so you can see how I've done those connections. And this one, I kind of left it open because you can put a pattern in here. I'm just going to put some stripes across. Okay. And then I'm going to connect these two. You can do all of your connectors like that one. I would encourage you to look up the work of Morrisseau. It's very interesting. And you can see where she got her inspiration. Okay, I'm going to put stripes in here. Just remember, this is your art. You're not being judged, not being graded. Just enjoy it. And around this corner a little bit more here. I think I'll join these two. You could always leave these, and then after you do other things on this, decide whether or not you like to join them. And like I did on this one, you could do different colors. Okay, but for my Inktober Tangles, I'm only doing black pen on white paper. Okay, so again, if we wanted to take a look at it, see if you think it feels balanced. Could add some more. I think I'm going to add another pattern up here. Make this one a little bit oval. Okay. All right, I think I'm happy with that. So some of the things that you can do, I'm going to go ahead and show you another tile that I did. This is on a craft colored paper, and this is a little bit wider, so it's 4.5 by 4.5. It's like an apprentice size tile. And this one is the burst pattern by Kelly Barone that we did yesterday. And this is just crescent moon, tipple. This is just wavy lines. This is doodah. And these are just random. This is Diva Dance, where I started it with the heart. And you can see that there's just unlimited things that you can do. Let me bring this over again and see that you can put more patterns inside, or more orbs, or whatever you want to do inside of what you already have. So for instance, inside of this one, if I wanted to, I could put a couple more orbs. In fact, I think I'll put 3 just for fun. And then I'm going to connect those. And like I said, I don't have this planned. Just go with your own creativity as to how you want this to look. I think within this one, I'm going to put kind of an oval and put doodah. This is one of my favorite patterns. Okay. And then, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time doing more patterns, but I basically just want to give you a way to start and then go from there. Let's see. I really like Shattuck, so I'm going to go across here. Okay, and then just start adding Shattuck. And this is the way that I like to do Shattuck. Okay. This one, I'm going to do kind of a triangular print on. Okay, I'm going to join these two. And that's just to show you that you can also put patterns inside. So actually on the outside of your shapes, you can put patterns between each of those shapes. So in here, I'm just going to put tipple. And I'm just varying my sizes. I'm not trying to make anything exactly the same. And I think this one is really pretty if you add other colors to it. So you could make each one of these shapes a different color, excuse me, whether you use watercolors or watercolor brushes or colored pencils, anything that you'd like to use. And just random shapes. So I could divide this, divide it again and again. And then just keep going. As far as shading, it all depends on patterns and how you fill your shapes. So in Shattuck, I'm just going to shade it along those lines. And then I think I'll shade all along the border here. Definitely makes it look like an egg now. And then I'm going to soften it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here, just a little bit of shading along the edge. We'll give it some depth. Oops, sorry. And then I'm going to add the shading on the inside of this one. And I may go back and add some other shapes and colors, or not colors, but other patterns inside of here. But this gives you a good idea of what you can do. Let me zoom out. Again, I would encourage you to watch Cheryl's video. She has some really nice ideas, and I just enjoy watching Cherryl. And in the description for this video, which is below the video, I will have a link to the step out. I'll have a link to her video. And I do have a link to all of the Inktober Tangles. There's a PDF that was given out that if you open the PDF and click on the pattern names, it takes you to the step outs for each of the patterns. All right. I hope this has given you some good ideas. I enjoy this one. This is, like I said, it's one of my favorite patterns. If you have enjoyed this, I would ask that you hit the like button. And if you subscribe and click on the alerts, you'll know when I've uploaded another video. And I don't know why this isn't focusing right, but and also, if you're so inclined, you can donate to my channel through the ko-fi.com, coffee.com link that is also in the description. That helps me to keep my channel going. I appreciate you guys. I hope you stay safe. I hope you stay well. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.